Do you know someone who is functional on the outside, but fractured on the inside? Protesting. Is it changing anything? Let's start thinking differently. If protests really worked, there would be visible change. We are still protesting. There has been no change. Actually, things have been getting worse. Why? Because when we are anti something, whatever we are anti has to exist. Healing with the Rev podcast is going to bring you comfort, build community, and give you some inspiration to move forward. Pro peace. For those of you who are old enough to remember who Mother Teresa was, Mother Teresa during the Vietnam War was asked to come to an anti-war rally. She said, I will not be there, but when you have a peace rally, invite me, I will come. She understood the difference between anti whatever and peace. So let's be for peace. And peace does not mean sitting on your butt doing nothing. It's very active. I'm Reverend Teresa Heipel. I am your host of Healing with the Rev podcast. I have lost loved ones to death. I am here to honor your faith tradition, and here you can find peace, calm, and clarity. Peace starts with community building, one person at a time, standing for something rather than against something. When we stand for, we're taking a stance for what we want. Anti-war, anti-ICE, or whatever is going on today as you are listening to this, whatever we are anti really does have to exist. We're giving power over to whatever it is we are wanting to not exist. If we want to abolish something, we need to be pro whatever that is. For this, we want pro peace. We want to be for peace. I don't think anyone would argue with me about that, but they haven't changed their mindset from something negative to something positive. So let's build something positive in this world. Peace building starts with faith. Whatever your faith is, whether it's Christian, Jewish, Islam, or anything else, I say have a faith in a higher power somewhere, because life gets difficult. And when life gets difficult, sometimes we don't know what to do with that. Building with faith, people are coming together. They're learning together. They're expounding their beliefs. They're expounding justice. And aren't we all wanting social justice? Seriously. Drum circles. It's a great way to release pent-up emotions. At my church, we have a drum circle. And when I go there, I can pound on the djembe drums, as you'll see on this picture. There's a lot of djembe drums. It's a great way because you can come up with your own rhythm and you can come up with your own chant in your head. It's pretty awesome. The podcast format, we're going to have real stories. I'm probably going to be talking more than doing interviews. I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things. I'm going to give you some practical tips and some uplifting interviews as we go along. Expressions of heartache, honoring our pain. This woman is feeling the weight of her loss. Whatever that loss is, she is not sure she wants to face reality. Sometimes reality is really difficult because reality is not someplace where we want to be. But we are here and we are now. And if you're listening to this, you're paying attention. So you are present in this moment. She appears to be afraid to see what is in front of her, whether she lost a spouse or a friend or a child or lost a job, gone into retirement, doesn't know what to do with her time. There's so many different kinds of ways of heartache, so many expressions of heartache. And whatever you're feeling, know that you are in great company and everything you feel is all good. And so I would ask you to continue to watch these podcasts because they're going to be informative. Some of them are about loss of some sort. Some of them are about these protests and peace and how we can move forward. Honor yourself by doing what is right for you in the moment. Welcome back to Steady by Design. I'm Teresa. Today we're talking about numbness. That strange, disquieting state of feeling nothing, or at least feeling less than you know you should feel. Numbness is one of the more confusing emotional experiences because it is, in a way, the absence of feeling, and yet it is itself a very real response to something happening inside you. Whether your numbness comes from grief, trauma, burnout, or simply having held too much for too long, you are not broken. Your nervous system is protecting you. Let's talk about it. Surface it, what numbness feels like. Numbness is tricky because the defining characteristic is the absence of normal sensation, but it does have qualities. A flatness, like the emotional landscape has gone gray. Going through the motions, doing the things, but not feeling them. A strange detachment from your own life, watching it from a slight distance as if through glass. Difficulty crying when you feel like you should be crying. A vague sense of unreality, of floating, of being disconnected from your own body. Sometimes people feel guilt about numbness. Why can't I feel anything? Something must be wrong with me. But numbness is not absence of caring. It is your nervous system's protective response to overwhelm. When the input is too much, too intense, too prolonged, too without support, the system turns down the volume to survive. You are not cold. You are not broken. You are buffered. Understand it. Understand it, why numbness happens. The technical term is emotional blunting or dissociation, and it sits on a spectrum from mild disconnection to significant trauma response. At the mild end, you've been through a stressful period, you're tired, you've had to hold a lot together, and you've gone flat as a result. At the more significant end, numbness can be a trauma response. Your nervous system learned very early that feeling was dangerous, and it learned to protect you by shutting feeling down. Either way, the path through is not to force feeling. Trying to feel when the system is genuinely shut down can create anxiety and shame on top of numbness, which helps nothing. The path through is gentleness, safety, small doses of the things that used to reach you, creating the conditions that allow feeling to come back slowly on its own terms. You cannot demand yourself back into your feelings. You can only make it safe enough for them to return. When we come back from the break, we will talk more about move through it and anchor it. Let's pause here for just a moment. This is what I call the steady moment. A pause to remember that peace in the world begins with peace inside us. One thing I've learned from working with people over many years is that the world does not become peaceful through more reaction. It becomes peaceful through more steadiness. When your nervous system is regulated, your thinking becomes clearer, your decisions become wiser, and your presence alone begins to influence the people around you. That's the work I do through what I call steady by design. I help people regulate stress, restore clarity, and return to peace, both in their bodies and in their lives. Because when we become steady inside ourselves, we stop reacting to chaos and begin creating stability in the world around us. And that is where real peace begins. Book your discovery call using this QR code. Now, let's continue. Welcome back. Let's continue on with Move Through It. Move Through It, creating conditions for feeling to return. Sensory experience is one of the most reliable pathways back through numbness. Because sensation is precognitive, it doesn't have to go through the story, the analysis, the protection layer. It just is. Try this. Find something with texture, rough, smooth, cool, warm. Hold it in your hands. Let your attention go fully to the sensation, just the physical reality of what you're touching. Or step outside if you can. Let the air hit your face. Look at something in the natural world, a tree, the sky, a blade of grass, and let your attention rest there without trying to think anything about it. Or put on music that used to move you, not to force yourself to feel it, just to create the invitation. You are not broken. The feelings are there. They are waiting for it to be safe enough to return. Anchor it. Gentleness as the way through. The irony of emotional healing is that it almost always requires the opposite of what we instinctively try. We try to push through. Emotional healing requires slowing down. We try to think our way out. Emotional healing requires feeling our way through. We try to be strong. Emotional healing requires allowing ourselves to be tender. With numbness specifically, the way back is not force. It is safety, gentleness, and time. Be patient with yourself. The feelings will come back, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once when you least expect it, and you'll find yourself crying at a commercial and wondering where that came from. That moment, when it comes, is healing. Your anchor. I am not broken. My feelings are safe. I am creating the conditions for them to return in their own time. Your anchor. I am not broken. My feelings are safe. I am creating the conditions for them to return in their own time. If you have enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe here. Your follow and subscribe allows me to make better quality content for you. I will bring in guests on occasion. If this message resonates with you, I bring the Steady by Design framework to organizations, communities, and events that want to lead with clarity instead of reaction. I'd love to continue the conversation. Thank you for spending this time in a tender space. Steady by Design is online. You can find it at https://steady-by-design.netlify.app. Until next time, stay steady. You were designed for this.